got a bunch of key rings here, which you probably better known as split rings. Let me just show you one of them. I go to hardware shops to find them, and then do things with them. And there's lots of things you can do, I've discovered. There we are. It's got a split in it. You lift it and pull it back, and then put a key, insert a key in there, and then insert the key into whatever, which is attached to your pocket. And you can start putting them together like this one here. You see, all I've done is to split one back and then join it together. So easily done. What else can you do with it? Well, something I came across way back 40 years ago, was it? Something Martin Gardner wrote about, which was the tumbling rings, he called it, the tumbling rings trick. Someone discovered this quite a few years ago now, probably 40, 50 years ago. And you just get a bunch of those rings and put them in a particular order. It's quite clever the way you actually have to set them up, because they're not obvious at all. And then what you do is you pick up a corner here and let go of the other one, and this top one somehow magically is going to go unclip, clip, unclip, clip. Well, this is what you tell children: clip, unclip, and appear at the bottom. So at the moment we've got that one at the bottom, and we've got this one at the top, and it goes blah, 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 blah. And now look at the bottom one; it's down to the bottom. And we've now got that one, which was a silver ring, at the bottom. Now we have a gold ring at the top. And we go clip and unclip, if I can get it the right way around. Yes. There you go. No. Try this way around here. And now it's appeared at the bottom. So very nicely done. I had so much fun with this that I made a large version which I could do at children's parties about 30 years ago out of curtain rings. I don't know where I got these from, but large rings. And discovered there's a nice effect you can do with emphasizing the change in color. So this is a big set of rings here. They're not split, but I had to actually cut several of them in order to get that to assemble like that in the same form. So I tell the children, children can believe anything you tell them almost, that this gold one is going to go unclip, clip, unclip, clip, unclip, clip, and come at the bottom where presently there's a grey one. Presently there's a grey one, and this is going to go unclip and clip all the way down. Here we go. And down at the bottom we have the gold one from the top all the way down. Well, of course, it's not the gold one. It's the gold one that's already lurking there. I'll do it one more time if I can remember which way to do it. So we have the grey one at the bottom. We have a gold one at the top. And we're going to go clip and unclip, just release it and go. And now at the bottom, there's the gold one. It's arrived at the bottom. Isn't it amazing? It's a little bit tricky to actually learn how to do the threading. So you might, if you want to copy it, you have to go on and ask for Martin Gardner's or just tumbling rings. It's a lovely effect, that, and I think it's superb. Now, there's something else which occurred about sort of 30 years later, when I went into a trade fair. Well, it was an open fair actually, for people who make toys, custom-made toys. And there was a little figurine about that tall holding tumbling rings in a hand. It was a little clown about that tall holding a little set of miniaturized version of these little rings. I thought, how else can you do that? I mean, look what I've got to do to make this thing tumble. I've got to reach for to get the right one for a start with. I've got to, with my finger, I've got to hold that and then release that. I'm going to turn that. That couldn't be done with a tiny automaton, not without really complicated leaves. So I looked very carefully at it. I suddenly realized, astonishingly enough, the little figure was holding up two rings like that. This was glued on, and this was glued on, so you weren't releasing the rings. So how can it be done? Well, eventually the man who was talking to another customer had time to talk to me, and he wound the thing up and got it going. And all you have to do is to get the automata is to hold the two rings in the hand and just do this, like that, and like that. And I never knew, with all the years, these 20 years after I first discovered how to make tumbling rings, that that's all you need to do. So I could do that at children's parties. Let me show the effect. I don't release or pick up the rings. I hold those rings and don't let them go at all. I just release this side here. Just release it, but hang on, and release it and hang on. I'll go back a little bit, release and hang on, keep hanging on. I'm just lifting and then dropping these rings in turn. What a lovely discovery. Should I do it with a big set of rings as well, just for a bit of fun, to show how easy it is? How on earth can I miss that? All you've got to do is be a little bit playful when you've got something like tumbling rings, and discover, but I never did. So anyway, once I got this going, I was away and had a wonderful time at children's parties showing them. All you've got to do is you've got to hold the two rings like that, and just like that, lift and then drop, lift and drop, lift and drop, lift. And you have a little, I noticed the chap who made his automaton did make a slight delay mechanism, so it didn't do it immediately, boom, 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 boom. It just went like that. It did it, it delayed, and then it gave time for the ring to reach the bottom. So an extra thing you can do with tumbling rings. So would you like to have a go? Get yourself a set of rings, make that, and after that, see what else you can make. It occurs to me, for instance, it's possible, it's just possible, that each of these rings could be actually could be slotted into a second ring. So you could have 4 rings at every station instead of 2 rings. Would it jam it up, or what would happen? Oval rings, square rings, I don't know. There's a whole lot of, and one with slightly different sizes would be interesting too. But they probably wouldn't lead to a jam, but they might not. They might lead to a new discovery. So it's a very, very fine folk toy, this, very simple to make and a lot of fun. And all you need is a set of these key rings and have a lot of fun with it. So that's the best of them.